Welcome back to The Jump. Blazers star Damian Lillard joins last night's SportsCenter special, and he didn't shy away from voicing his concerns on the health risks associated with resuming the NBA season. Take a listen to Dame here.
I'm not really sure. I don't feel 100% comfortable. But, it's a risk that I'm willing to take. Like I mentioned earlier, this is what we do. This is our job. And this is how we take care of our families. And also, like I mentioned earlier, it's my way of providing for communities and impacting my community. So to play the game I love, to resume the season, I guess it's a risk that I'm willing to take.
So good perspective there for Damian. And for more on the health part, Commissioner Silver provided a bit of clarity on some of the safeguards Disney employees assigned to work inside of the Worldwide of Sports complex will take to limit exposure to COVID-19. He also clarified why we shouldn't refer to Orlando as a bubble. Take a listen to him.
It's a little bit of a misnomer to call it a bubble because it's a campus with varying levels of protection depending on the proximity to the players and the people in their immediate vicinity. In other words, some of the Disney employees will be going in and out of the campus, but they won't be in the same room as the players. I mean, there'll be other people who potentially be in the same room with players, but they'll remain physically distant from them, and there'll then be those who, in essence, will be breathing the same air as the players and vice versa. And for those people, we have to take particular precautions.
So that's interesting. We certainly don't have all of the health and safety protocols from the NBA yet, but that is more than we knew a day ago. So, Paul, if you were being asked to go to the Orlando campus, would you be okay with the Disney workers going off the property and mixing with the public every night and then coming back on, as long as they were never, in Adam's words, breathing the same air or being in the same room as you, to the extent that the other people who were more locked down would be?
I mean, I definitely have concerns because, like the commissioner said, it's not a bubble. You're going to have people having access in and out of the campus, and in that case, how much test is provided, what's the protocol to people who leave and come back, and there's so many different concerns, but they're going to be able to provide the testing. I probably would feel a lot safer there than where I feel right now, in the position I am right now, where I'm going to grocery stores, I'm going to restaurants. There's no protocol in what I'm doing. I'm not able to get tested once every 2 days or however, the players and staff and people inside this campus are going to be tested. I can understand there's the concerns, but, me personally, I definitely will feel safe being able to head to Orlando, knowing that there is a lot of precautions that's going to be made. They have a lot of things in place, and the testing they're going to be able to get is something I wouldn't be able to get right now in my everyday life. So I'll feel a lot safer there than I would be where I am today.
Yeah, safety, when it comes to safety, there's two really different schools of thought. There's one school of thought, which is the safest thing that we can do without a cure and without a vaccine is to stay away from one another. And so the more people you introduce into an environment, especially if they have access in and out, the greater increased risks that we have of infection. On the other hand, I've read a lot of experts say that, look, the number one way of infecting one another is human, basically, interaction. Sharing the same space in the same air in the same room as someone who has it. So if these Disney employees are never actually physically in the room at the same time as when the players or the staff are there, then the levels of risk are greatly reduced. And not only that, we have a lot of technology that's out there that's being used to make sure that beyond just regular scrubbing, we get a higher level of cleanliness. I saw there's this robot that they use at hospitals where it flashes UV light and disinfects the room, being used now in hotels. So who knows if they'll use those kind of precautions. But I think the other part of this, Rachel, is there's a difference between safety and fairness. You can complain about the safety concern about these Disney employees coming in and out of the environment. You can't complain about fairness because they are represented by a union of their own. that has to negotiate with Disney, not with the NBA, not with the NBA Players Association. And so as union members, the players have to respect that these employees are union members as well.
Yeah, and they're paid a lot differently than an NBA player as well. So when you talk about not the health and safety, but just the fairness, as you say, the fairness of, well, we're locked down, why aren't they locked down? Obviously, you are being much better compensated to being locked down. And of course, as Paul said, in a lot of ways, this campus is going to be the safest place in the state of Florida. We'll have to see how that all pans out. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.